The week of August the 5th to the 11th, Monday through Sunday, is the mystical, magical Lionsgate portal that everyone talks about on August the 8th, 8/8. And we're going to talk about what that might mean, but it is not what you think it is. I can guarantee that. You might be a little bit surprised to find out what that whole hoopla is really about. But we also have a lot of other things happening. Mercury will be already headed retrograde as this week begins. Venus will have moved into Virgo. And most importantly, Jupiter will sextile the sun while Venus and Mercury combine forces. For the most part, it's a positive week. And we're going to share what this means for you based on your sun, moon, and rising sign. Listen for your rising sign. It's everything about you. Listen for your sun, career and purpose. Moon, maybe home, maybe body, maybe how you feel and think about your life. We're going to talk about the Lionsgate portal because it has been bothering me for a long time. Let's get into it. And then let me break down the week ahead for you and what to look for and how to use it based on your sign. Well, first of all, by the way, you're new to my channel. Hey guys, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. Western tropical zodiac, fixed stars, and minor asteroids are my specialty. And I put out 30 or 40 videos a month. And I will be talking a little bit this week ahead about reminding you to sign up for my Sky Reader course. I guess I'll tell you now. It starts sometime in September. I haven't set the exact date. There's a wait list below for an early bird discount. 6 weeks of live learning to be your own astrologer and time your best life, how to read your own chart, and make use of really cool ancient timing tools. It's a live class, replays available, access to the content forever, information below. And if you haven't gotten my summer sale yet for my All Signs bundle or your sign, a full reading of 90 minutes for the year ahead of 24, we're halfway through and it's less than half price for sale. And that content was never made public. It's always a private sale at the end of every calendar year. All right, so let's get going. Let's get talking Lionsgate. So what is the Lionsgate portal? It is nothing because it is a New Age concept based on 8/8, the Sphinx, something to do with ancient Egypt. It does indeed have something to do with ancient Egypt. So back in the day, the flooding of the Nile River would happen in July and August, and it would correspond with the heliacal rise, the visible rise of the fixed star Sirius, the dog star, the dog days of summer. And this energy was celebrated by the farming community of ancient Egypt because it fertilized the silt from the flooding of the Nile, predictably happening, correspondent with the rise of the star Sirius, meant fertility, growth, and prosperity for the people of the land of the Nile River and the Nile River basin. So it's literally an agricultural thing. In our modern day, we have August and they're full of wildfires and droughts. So it's really an old thing brought forward, and it's not really some kind of, ascension portal, whatever that is. Second of all, I can tell you there is a chart that shows you when the heliacal rise will happen in every place in the world, based on where you live. And in North America, it's something like, maybe August 14th in Chicago, you'll be able to see in the morning sky Sirius for a short time. Okay, just a short time in the dawn hours. So ultimately, I just want to clear the air on this. It's a bit of a bait and switch probably in the title of the video because SEO loves the Lionsgate portal. But you really want to ask yourself, what is it? If you are going to talk about it, they should at least explain the origin of it. I find it fascinating and very interesting. I want you to ponder something. When people let me go for one thing. When people say Western tropical zodiac astrology does not work, because what we've done is we've created an artificial sky that's not real, not like the sky that they use in Indian astrology. Sorry, weird light here, which is like the real-time sky, is based on a sky that existed 2,000 to 4,000 years ago. And in that 2,000 year window of 2,000 to 4,000 years back, on the vernal equinox, on the spring equinox, we had Aries rising. That's better. Aries rising in the morning on the spring equinox on the eastern horizon. So yes, it's an ancient sky that doesn't exist today. Now it's actually Pisces rising on the vernal equinox because that's the real sky. It's almost like we locked back in time. But the Western tropical zodiac is an archetypal, symbolic, seasonal related zodiac connected to the concept of light. the light becoming at its zenith and longest days in the Western Hemisphere on the summer solstice, the light becoming shortest days in the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere in December, and then the midpoints where the light turns brighter and darker, that would be the spring equinox. We begin to get after the 23rd, 22nd, 21st of March, more light. It goes from, the dark night of, December, and we begin to get more light. The light begins to increase. We hit the peak of light in the middle of summer on the June 21st solstice. And then we're holding. And then by the time we get to the autumn equinox, the light begins to go down. It's less light. So it's a seasonal zodiacal system based on the concept of light and dark. Doesn't that sound a little bit like Star Wars? The only thing I can say about what could be special about Leo, Lionsgate, the Sphinx, etc., is that if you look at the tarot card, and I'm going to show you the tarot card for the mystical occult meaning of maybe the vibe of the Lionsgate portal, I'm going to give it that much, maybe I'll go with that. That could be true. Let me show you a picture of the Wheel of Fortune before we get to your sign. And I really think you might enjoy just seeing what I'm about to show you. Let me see that I actually have it on my screen. I do. It is on the desktop. Okay, it should be shareable for you. Of course, it isn't, but it's on my desktop, so let's find it. Give me 5 seconds to round that Wheel of Fortune picture for you, the tarot card, the major arcana. Okay, so I just took a screenshot of a classic Rider-Waite tarot picture of the Wheel of Fortune in the ancient tradition of tarot, which is an encoded system of ancient occult wisdom and knowledge, almost like you'd have cheat sheet, index cards when you're a kindergartner or you're learning something. That's really encoded wisdom and knowledge, but it can be used as a divinatory tool, as can anything. Throw the bones, read the tea leaves, but it's encoded knowledge. You'll notice that the wheel has a sphinx in it right there, and you'll notice that there are celestial beings on the 4 corners. The celestial beings are Aquarius, the water bearer, the angel, up on this corner. Hope you can see that I'm trying to circle it there. Can I annotate on this? Yeah. So this is Aquarius, the water bearer. Down here is the bull, Taurus. Over here is the winged lion, down here, right? The winged lion. And that happens to be Leo. And up here is the Phoenix rising, which is also sometimes an eagle, which is one of the symbols for Scorpio. Is scorpion like the Scorpio, or, the sea critter, or the, Scorpio image. But then it's also the eagle. And then it's also the Phoenix. And those are symbols for Scorpio as well. So what are these signs in ancient astrology? They're fixed signs. They do not represent movement, but rather fixity, enduring, stabilizing, and preserving qualities of reality. Shiva, the destroyer, and Vishnu, the preserver, kind of thing, and Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahman. I don't know enough about, but there's like qualities of reality, and fixity is one of them. Think about doing a painting and how you want to hold it in place. So you put a fixative on your canvas. So the fixed signs are in the middle of the summer, the middle of the fall, the middle of the winter, and the middle of the spring seasons. It's between the changes that are going to occur to the light. So it's holding steady. It's the middle seasons. But also, this Wheel of Fortune represents the spinning wheel of change, the spinners of reality, the Norns that weave our fate. This is the movement of one's destiny. And things change. What changes? The weather changes. The politics change. My body changes. Everything. My job changes. My friendships change. Life is filled with spinning wheels of change. And there's an interesting quality of this Wheel of Fortune that it shows to put a sphinx in it, ancient knowledge and wisdom, and the 4 corners of the fixed signs of Aquarius and Taurus and Leo and Scorpio. So there is a book, and the book is called, I will share it with you. Years ago, when I was living in New York City, working in Chelsea as a magazine editor, I went down to this little bookstore called The Magical Child. And some of you who lived in Manhattan know where I mean, down by probably 19th or 18th Street in Chelsea, between 6th Avenue and 5th, maybe. And this baby is something I've held on to all of these years. I'm sure it's in reprint. So Jason Lauderhand The weekly talks on the wisdom of the major arcana by a mystic. He was a mystic, and these are the recorded transcripts. An amazing book. Go get it. Now, it is in print because I sent a friend toward it a few years ago. So he says about the major arcana in relationship to the imagery, like the Sphinx and all of that. I want to share this one little paragraph with you because I want to redeem the Lionsgate portal. But if we're going to take the Lionsgate portal, we also need to add other portals, right? Like, why aren't we adding the portal for the Taurus gate, or for the Scorpio gate, or for the Aquarius gate? Why will they focus on the Lion's gate? Like, but Lion has Regulus, the little king star, the 21st brightest star in the sky, fixed star Regulus, Archangel Raphael, all kinds of cool medieval stuff. So there is some pivotal energy that exists in the leonine sky, so to speak. So here we have what he says. The blue Sphinx at the top of the Wheel of Fortune, of course, represents the self and our innermost self, which, although the outside wheel could be considered equally well our innermost self, which, although outside the wheel, Sphinx is outside the wheel, could be considered equally well at its center. Even though the wheel turns, our consciousness does not move. Even though the wheel of change around us completely turns constantly, as the world turns, good old soap opera, Days of Our Lives, Young and Restless, as the wheel turns, the inner center does not spin. It holds still. It is the hub of the wheel upon which the spokes are turning. I'm just telling you that. I'm not reading that. So what's at the center of everything is not going anywhere, he says. There are some portrayals of the Sphinx as a complete being with a lion body, eagle wings, human head, and the horns of a bull. All the fixed energies are within the Sphinx itself, but it doesn't spin, it doesn't turn. It's not a part of the wheel of change. So when we talk about the Taurus gate, the Scorpio gate, the Leo Lion's gate, and the Aquarian gate, if we want to go for gates through the fixed signs, we should add all of them. Then maybe the Lion's gate is something that we can all entertain at an esoteric, occult, mystical level. We're in a time of the lion, where we've had a seasonal shift away from the high sun, high noon on the 21st of June, where we ended up at the longest days of the year, the height of the sun in the Western Hemisphere. We're talking Western Hemisphere as an archetypal symbology. And after Cancer is Leo, the next sign. So we're in the middle season. We're in the middle season energy. So we may have sacred portals and fixed signs, because fixed signs represent that which is unmovable, steady and sturdy and preserving, if there is such a thing. Then the only thing that's unmovable, steady, and doesn't shift despite the change is our true self. So at a very deep level, maybe we could say fixity and fixed signs are pointing the way, really, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, to our true innermost self that watches the changes but does not change itself, because it is eternal, unmoving, unchangeable, never born, never was. It observes reality. So there's my pulpit moment about what the heck the Lionsgate might be trying to point to, but it's not about ascension. It's not about anything like that. It's an old farming story. Now, we got Lionsgate out of the way. It's still a great week ahead. Let's go take a look at the chart. Let's talk very shortly about world astrology. That's called mundane astrology. I used to be a reporter, but that's not why I'm doing it. There's a whole field of astrology called mundane, which means world, mundus, world astrology. I always cover world astrology, and then we move forward. Why is world astrology useful? It allowed me to predict assassination attempt on Trump and that Biden would step down. Both of those predictions are in multiple videos. They all came true. You can use world astrology tools and techniques to make forecasts about things that may or may not happen in the world. And this is what the ancient kings used to do with their astrologer priests, so they could effectively not decimate their kingdom by going to futile wars or making mistakes that cost lives and wealth and property. So here we go. This is a picture of the sky this week. The moon, by the way, the moon was new on August the 5th. Depends on where you live, but say on Sunday, the moon was a new moon. It was dark. It was in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees. And when the moon is dark for the 3 days after the new moon, you can't see it in the sky. So there's nothing really illuminating lunar sphere themes, which include things to do with materiality and the material realm, the lunar sphere of the matrix being like I think in the tree of life, the lunar sphere would be the bottom of the tree of life, which is, I believe is called Malkuth. It's where all the material realm exists. So the lunar sphere material planet is invisible. So invisible things are happening. But then as we approach, by the way, August the 6th, which is Tuesday, the moon is now far enough from the sun to be visible. And therefore, we have the first waxing crescent moon for the 3 days that follow. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that waxing crescent moon is that sliver of light, the little, fingernail crescent that says game on. So I want you to know that things that have been percolating in the dark since the new moon on the 4th, 5th, by the time we get to the 6th, 7th, 8th, begin to show up in the sky as visible outpictured events. Okay, that's the story, one broad theme of the week. And I find it interesting that you can call this the moon rise, if you like, the beginning of visibility of the moon. It's happening in Virgo. And it's not just happening in Virgo on Tuesday, but it's happening with Mercury and Venus all piled up there. Mercury retrograde. We're not covering that for the week ahead, but I did actually put up my Mercury retrograde video today of my recording this Saturday. So that video is out for you on Saturday, August the 3rd. Go look at your signs delineation for Mercury in an elemental fire year, not seen since 2017, back again in Leo for such a long stay. So go watch that video. And tomorrow on Sunday, the 4th, my Venus video will be out for Venus and Virgo. And this you're listening to on Monday, unless you're my Patreon community and you have this today with no ads and before the public. So the key here to me is the moon is going to influence events for the month ahead. A new moon roughly lasts 28 days energetically. I mean, certainly the 2 weeks that follow as well. And so if we go even with the 2-week energy, the 2-week energy of this moon, it has a lot to do with information from the past, because Mercury conjunct the waking up moon rolling backwards is like what information, news, is coming out of our past collectively and individually that will impact us in some Virgoian part of our sky. Even though the moon is not in Virgo for more than 2 days, it's really about an energy signature that's stamping in to what will be made visible from the dark of both Leo and the Virgo territory, which makes me think of female leaders. So there's going to be a bit of dirt on female leaders coming into our news cycle. Of course, Kamala Harris has her Virgo Venus at 17 degrees of Virgo in her 4th house, which is getting into the middle of that hot and messy T-square around August 18th, 19th. We feel that T-square starting around the 14th to the 20th. And her Venus in her 4th house of private, unseen things in the public eye, fallen Venus in Virgo, will be activated. So I don't know what dirt was coming out with Kamala. If I was her astrologer, I'd be worried. She will be in a negative impacted news cycle around the time of the Democratic National Convention, I believe. What else is going on in the sky in the week ahead? Well, we're going to see that Mercury and Venus are going to be in a conjunction. And a conjunction is the two of them are becoming blended up as one energy field. They are becoming unified. They are doing a merger and acquisition. So here we have it. 3 degrees Venus, 3 degrees Mercury on August the 8th. August the 8th is a Thursday. Also, simultaneously, Thursday into Friday, we're having this to take it back a day, it's exact on the 7th. So basically, I'd say, it's a corresponding Wednesday the 7th in my time zone, North America, Thursday the 8th. These are kind of happening together, a 1-2 punch. Jupiter is in a sextile to the sun. Good news in each of our lives around purpose and career and authority and success in matters that matter to you as a deeper part of your life. The sun in Leo and Jupiter, bounty, luck, expansion, and growth. But for the world, Jupiter and Sun are both solar figures and leader figures, like kings and queens and leaders and rulers. And there's something positive happening here that favors that theme in the sky, where it feels better than it has for a while. Oh my God, we just got some great news. Now we're seeing that Jupiter Sun become very precise, 15 degrees and 15 degrees, for instance, on August the 7th, around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. in Pacific Daily Time. But there's an orb of engagement where it's building up. So if I take it back a bit and we just go into this August the 5th, which is Monday, then we're already there. What is happening to do with kings and queens and leaders, or maybe celebrities, and something that's quite significantly felt as generally positive for the world, or the world receives this as a positive thing. Jupiter is in the house of Kamala Harris's ascendant, and in the house, Sun is in the house of Donald Trump's ascendant. Both of those people may be releasing news that is approved of or felt by the world to be somewhat positive. As of my recording, Kamala Harris is announcing her VP running mate on Monday. This ties in with the VP running mate engagement window. I did predict Tim Walz, second in command, Andy Bashir. Go look at the video I put out at a dumb time, like Friday night when nobody watched it. So the numbers aren't great. And a lot of people were thinking it was Shapiro. I didn't know anything about the news cycle when I recorded this Friday afternoon, but I have since come to learn that he's under a lot of hot water for having said in a school newspaper when he was 20 that peace in Palestine is impossible. Palestinians are too battle-minded or something like that, and it'll never be two-state solution. At the same time, he also has served with the IDF as a volunteer. And that kind of thing will not work for the Democratic Party because they have lost the young Gen Z vote kind of thing to the Gaza war. And if they're going to reclaim that vote, those things about Shapiro will not wash with that generation. And so therefore, I do not say, I did the astrology of why it's not Shapiro. It's because of his Saturn Sun conjunction at the late degrees of Aquarius, which is really repressive for someone like Kamala with her ascendant at 24 degrees. Of 24 degrees of Gemini. So, that's not going to work. That she wouldn't even want to be around a Sun Saturn on her ascendant. So they're not even going to get along. If she's doing actually interviews this weekend, which she's supposed to do, talking to each of these people individually, she would not feel good around that person. So he would feel like raining on my parade. Don't do it, So that's not going to work. So I still think Tim is the best bet, but then Andy Bashir would be next in line in terms of the astrology. Why I said that is in the video that came out Friday. It's on my election playlist on my channel. If you're an astrology buff who wants to understand using predictive tools to determine who will win, go check it out. I gave away a free course in that video, my Perfection Ages courses, to teach you how to do that tool. So go check it out. Moving forward. And that sale is only on for a week. It's 1 week. You can get the course for free. Only if you watch that video, because I talk about it and give you the link in the description box. What else do I want to say? Let's talk about the perfection of the Jupiter, of the Venus and Mercury story. They're becoming perfectly united, in the 4 degrees of Virgo. So then what we do with that is we take, 4 degrees of Virgo, and we're going to feel them coming together, holding hands, loving each other up on Tuesday, the 6th, right? You see them there. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that because I want to talk about what the Sabian symbol might have. Oh, sorry, that's the moon. Apologies. What day was that on? Venus and Mars are completely holding hands. Here we go. 3 degrees, August the 8th, Thursday. Okay, what does it mean when they're together like this? From the tongue flows speech, from his tongue flowed speech sweeter than honey. That's from Odysseus. From someone's tongue flows speech sweeter than honey. I bet you any money it's a political speech, but that's going to be something available on August 8th, give or take a day or two before and a day or two after. Thank you, Crow, for participating. But on the Sabian symbols for this, which is 4 degrees of Virgo, one must always round up. The Sabian symbol they rounded up 4 degrees of the sign of Virgo. The crow is loving can you guys hear him? Participation. It's a colored child playing with white children. A colored child playing with white children, reminding you that this book was channeled by Elsie Wheeler. This is the Sabian Symbols, A Screen of Prophecy by Diana E. Roche. This book was channeled in the 1930s, right? So some of the old time phrases are quaint and charming. So to color child playing with white children speaks obviously to interracial fairness or equity or, all of the good stuff that the civil rights movement brought to life in the land of the United States back in the day, for example. And the stepping stone meanings, according to this particular author, are integration, receptivity, acceptance, appreciation, mutual appreciation, intimacy, friendship, understanding, tolerance, distinction, and variety. So, what could it mean for the world? And what could it mean for all of us? It's coming into being in a week that the crescent moon is showing her light in the sign of Virgo, the sign of the Virgin. It's a feminine sign. I mean, in a sense, it's about the female figure, right? With a bird on her shoulder. It's a priestess energy. So it's about women. It's about tolerance and receptivity. This is a Venus powerhouse time for multiple reasons, much of it in the solar ingress chart, saying that women are rising to power in this year, this astrological year of March of 2024 to 25. I predicted the first female president of the United States will arise this year from the solar ingress chart that I put out in March. So there you go. And that crow might just drive me crazy. So he's finally flying away. Okay. So he's agreeing, right? Women power, power up women. Now, I'll be putting out my Donald Trump video shortly and another one for Kamala Harris. But by far, Kamala's chart looks stronger than Trump's. But it looks like, just for you guys a teaser, there's going to be a reformation that doesn't mean the coronation of Trump nor Kamala, right? Even if Trump makes it to this election, who knows? So there's going to be a delay in the results for some reason. I don't think it's a delay in the election, but a delay in the results. A little bit Bush Gore hanging Chad. But I still think a woman will be in power as a head of the United States in 2025. So this is about not just racial tolerance, but anything that's of diversity. So women versus men, equity, fairness, playing together, harmony in the playpen of life. It's possible that there's something going on here with this Venus, the goddess of women, the goddess of money, and the goddess of markets and currencies, and Mercury retrograde. That is also the beginning of a pullback in the stock markets. I've been seeing this dramatic possibility, as have many people in astrology. I'm not a financial astrologer. It doesn't take a genius to see that the markets are oversold. And it's all about irrational exuberance, a la Ellen Greenspan in the tech bubble time. This literally is not a good omen for the markets because Mercury rules commerce. Yes, he's in dignity, but he's retrograde as he conjuncts the goddess of currencies. And as they go retrograding backwards, right, then like they're trundling backwards, that means retraction or backwards motion in connection to things to do with currencies and markets and economies and stock markets. The conjunction of Mars here with Uranus on attempted assassination day, July 13th, 14th, and 15th, that conjunction was active, is also on the sun of the United States of America's New York Stock Exchange. New York Stock Exchange just got a Mars-Uranus conjunction for the first time in hundreds of years. I did a whole video on this in my Mars-Uranus conjunction video for all signs. Please watch that video. It gives you the lay of the land for the next 2 years of your life. But for the stock markets, it could be 2 years of turbulence. Algol is off with her head. Medusa, it is a well star, but Mars is a malefic. And with Uranus, shock and awe. And Mars is a malefic in his detriment as he co-joined Uranus on the star Algol. And I do believe we're going to see a 2-year stock market downturn, if not a recession or depression. I'm so sorry, but bad news is never wanted. But that's this Mercury retrograde off of Venus in a whole sign trine to Uranus can be some destabilizing, because don't forget, Mercury actually trundles all the way back to 21 degrees of Leo. And at 21 degrees of Leo, he will, during his transit backwards, square the sun of the stock exchange, New York Stock Exchange, and Uranus, Algol, Mars conjunction point. So that's when things really go south. So we're looking for that energy of Mars trundling backwards through the sign of Leo. And the turnaround point, Mars gets into Leo on the 15th of August. So we probably won't see a whole lot of turbulence until we get to the 15th of August onward. And then we will see what happens, so just be aware of that. If I was to stop the share, and I want to show you that just for a minute, we'll do your sign. This is what it may look like. And now coming into an election, both candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and Harris hopefully and Tim Walz, because he's folksy grandpa vibe energy, even though he's the same age as her. He's pro-labor unions. The labor unions like him, but they don't like Shapiro and the other guy. I mean, he's going to have to be the ticket winner, if not Andy Bashir. So, you know, he would do her well, right? He's not just folksy, but he just seems like a nice guy. Even if he's not a nice guy, he just seems like a nice guy. And that's good public perception. Plus, he's very well spoken off the cuff, unlike Kamala, who needs a teleprompter. So here we have this guy, bless her soul, right? Not criticizing. A lot of people need teleprompters to speak. This is, again, the sky. Here's Mercury, and I want to watch us go backwards, and I want you to see him cross over the line. And by the time we get to this 15th, 16th, now he's moving through Donald Trump's ascendant. What is Donald Trump changing his mind about? Does anybody have an idea in the comments? Do you want to tell me what you think Donald Trump is changing his mind about sometime around the 15th, 16th, 17th of August? Is it his running mate? Does he no longer want to run because he knows he's going to lose? Is he saying something that everyone says, what? He just did a 180-degree turnaround? So likely he's changing his mind about something, because this is Mercury retrograde over his ascendant. And then as Mercury continues to move backwards, don't forget, it will hit the algal star, that point where the big conjunction happened around this time frame, around, the 18th, 19th, and that's that big T square in the sky. That's a place where we're having the Democratic National Convention, a big tense sky. And then he turns around Mercury at 21 degrees of Leo, which means he's past Trump's ascendant, past Trump's 26-degree Mars, turns around August 29th, and then goes forward over Trump's Mars and forward over his ascendant. But it means decisions and actions and things that Trump has done will be reversed by Donald Trump, most likely, during the window of August 15th to the 29th. Some of us don't see Donald Trump on the ticket. I've been saying since the beginning of this year, I see neither Trump nor Biden on the ticket, which is hard to believe, but possible. So we shall see if that's true. Now, finally, this is going to be one last story about the week, and then we're going to do your sign. I'm going to move us back. Boom, boom, boom. Uh-oh, not that far back. I hit the months. I just want to get to this week, and I'll say one more thing about it. We'll do your sign. Okay. So as I said, we're going to have Venus here, and then she flips into Virgo where she's in her fall. So this is a fallen position where she's all this week and all the way for the next 3 weeks, really not in great condition. She's under the weather, but she's under the rulership or the bosshood of Mercury. And so there is something to say that even though Mercury is retrograde, he's in charge of her until the 15th of August. And so for females in the news cycle, particularly Kamala Harris, or maybe coming into the news cycle, Tulsi Gabbard, for example, or any woman in the news cycle, things still look pretty good for them. Well, Mercury is holding fort in his home kingdom of Virgo, and Venus is there as well. Where things get sideways is when Mercury moves into Leo and is really not supervising Venus. So watch for women having a little bit more trouble as Venus is in her fall, or currencies and stock markets being fallen and troublesome anytime from the middle of the month, they said 14th, 15th of August till the end of the month for sure. Let's go ahead and look at each sign, and we're going to talk about what to do with this week. Again, it's a positive week. We have a Jupiter sextile to the sun. We have a conjunction between Mercury and Venus in Virgo, where Mercury is in his dignity. This is a positive week for you and me. So we're not buckled down, biting our nails. And even for the politicians, it may be quite good this week. Everyone's running on happy steam. Everyone's feeling jovial. And ultimately, we should just calm before the storm is how I see the first 2 weeks of August. The first 10 days of August, everyone thinks everything's just hunky-dory. And then a meteorite hits the earth or something. Because the middle of August to the end of August is not the same story. It's chapter 1 and chapter 2, right, of this month's storyline. All right, so as I go ahead and do your sign, remember sun, career purpose, moon, body, emotions, mind, and then your mother, of course, and then the rising sign is like you at the steering wheel of your life, right? It's the helmsman that sits in the first house. The rising degree is your rising degree. If you don't know your rising sign, I do have a free tutorial under my description box, how to cast your chart and whole sign houses and why. Click on that. It's a downloadable little mini video teaching about 10 minutes long, and I walk you through how to get your chart and whole sign houses. I'm probably going to retire that out and just do a video here in YouTube. The problem is I'm trying to find time to do all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Also, to all of my regulars, thanks for being here. Team Us, we're headed for 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I think I can get there. So thank you for all of your support, and for all of those who, for the 6,400 new subscribers, 6,600 new subscribers who piled into my channel during the month of July because of those predictions that came true, Biden stepping down, which I made ages ago, back in February, March, but also again and again, I made those in July, and also Trump being nearly assassinated. I thought he would not live. I said he was in dire harm's way and when he would be. Thank you for coming aboard. And I may get it right for Tim Walz being the nominee. I mean, the running mate for Kamala. That is my pick based on the astrology. But I'm not, if I was 100% right on my intuition and my astrology, I would probably be working for presidents or something. Prime ministers, presidents, queens. Okay, let's get going. We're talking Aries first, and then we're going to finish this video up. All right. Reminding you that if you wanted to get this today, which is Saturday, August the 3rd, with no ads, and you'll never have ads on it, you should definitely want to check out for $5 a month my Patreon community. And I may be starting a join button here as well for some other feature that I don't have on Patreon. But I like Patreon because I have your contact information. And if I ever get shut down by this platform who likes to demonetize people who disagree with them, then I'm not at risk of losing contact with many of you as well. So. All right, Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. First things first, it's a nice week ahead. Sunny weather ahead. Yes, Mercury is retrograde and powerful and close to Earth. Take my free Mercury retrograde webinar in the description box below to learn how to harness some of the stars and asteroids involved in that retrograde. But in the meantime, as Mercury is heading retrograde this week, he's also co-present with Venus. And so what I like about the beginning of this week is you're feeling very sociable, feeling very light and lighthearted. The lighter side of life is alive and well in your Virgo realm, which is your 6th house of work. And you're probably just enjoying work and going back to some work projects you've had on the back burner, or even getting in touch with work colleagues and coworkers and people involved in your work sphere that maybe you haven't seen and they're back from the past. But ultimately, the vibe this week feels like girls just want to have fun at work, all right? And you may feel more lighthearted and free and easy regarding matters to do with physical wellness, because that's also the house of sickness. And Venus is a benefic, and she's blessing your health and giving you strength there for the next 3 weeks. And you feel some of that relief as well during this week ahead, about better health outcomes, especially if you've been struggling with an illness of any kind. The energy here with the Jupiter conjunct sextile to the sun, which is really kind of more powerfully felt by all of us around Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You may find yourself saying to the world at large, the universe, I'm really down for putting a lot of energy and enthusiasm and faith, Jupiter, in your 3rd house, in my younger sibling, in travel plans, in my writing projects, in my social media world. You're filled with ebullient hope, faith, and optimism, wisdom, and knowledge. You just got it all together there. And the support from the sun in its home kingdom of Leo is such a good energetic, because it brings you that inspiration, the muse, it's all fired up. So I would encourage you, especially if you're a writer or you're a social media platform type person, or you want to take a trip, to find that spark where you're vitalized, you're enthused, there's a great deal of joy surging through you, where we get filled with spirit and find erotic life force energy, and we connect to our divine essence, is in that soulful 5th house. And if the sun is there talking to Jupiter, this is going to be a sense of incredible, joyful hope. Jupiter is only in your 3rd house to do this with the sun once every 12 years. So in that sense, it's a once every 12-year boost. I think I'll call the title a once every 12-year portal to joy / Lionsgate truth. All right, that may make more sense actually, because the rarity of Jupiter sun is what I really wanted to point to in this video today. So have fun. Good for a trip. Good for social events in the neighborhood. Good for online enthusiasm. Good for that writing project getting liftoff. What am I doing? I'm doing the book proposal for my book with the agent who requested it, who has sold best-selling books, and I'm writing that proposal on the Wednesday, Mercury's day, so that I'm enthused, inspired, and delighted as I get that proposal for the book created. That's the vibe. Find the spark of your inner muse and find the spark of what vitalizes you. Is trying to show itself to you. Just open your eyes and look for it. Now we're going to go into the Taurus folk and talk about how this looks for you, Venusian beings. And of course, we would say, you'll see this, there we go. We would say that having this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday vibe, that's quite enjoyable. Like we wouldn't mind it. I'll move ahead a day to move right more into the 6. Having this enjoyable vibe that's really quite luscious is Jupiter is in a flow, a conversation of ease with the sun. So as you feel this energy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in a way you haven't seen for 12 years, you feel re-inspired regarding things that you put in your mouth, ingestion, and Mars is helping you eliminate and cut things you shouldn't eat because you got a chironic wound you're dealing with since 2019 with self-undoing. That can include addictions and escapist food habits, and substances are addictive too, like alcohol and cigarettes. And some of you are releasing those addictions, but Mars is supporting that very much so here. He's got a keen eye for you to get outside and out from under something you put through your ingestion system, your mouth, your face, and get rid of it. Your nose included, by the way, for things that go through your nose that you shouldn't be doing either. And so Mars is cutting, and Jupiter is benefic grace and helping, bonifying Mars's activity. This week is a good breakthrough week for things like that because of the flow to the sun in the 4th house. There's a light in the basement of your house. There's a light in the midnight hour. Now that can be very literal. Some of you may not sleep well this week. I'll have to say it because Mars is energizing Jupiter and there's a lot going on. You might be up, spitting out soliloquies, talking to yourself, doing some kind of, intensity around making sure your financial situation is okay. Because when the sun is in the 4th house, where it's normally the midnight hour, it's like a light is on at home in the dark. So there is that vibe going on, but the sun is in his home kingdom with, by the way, the festal flame, another light, a torch. And it can look like you're lighting up your childhood. Some of you are going back and looking at your childhood to see what it is that could have held you back, or some of those substances that you abusing you from childhood, parts of trauma or stories that you're no longer wanting to be run by, those scripts that are unconsciously running your life. And it could be some financial bounty for you as a Taurus this week ahead, Tuesday through Thursday, as you begin to see a light of prosperity, Jupiter, Pluto, in career and money matters, really giving you a sense of renewal and regeneration, Pluto, in what is possible in your career and financial and reputation space. This is the beginning of a longer story, but you feel it all the way through till next June. Because we have Venus conjunct Mercury in your 5th house, it's really good for fun. It's a place of pleasure, joy, and fun. Mercury socializes, Venus finds pleasure. A lot of social pleasure or sexual pleasure and fun can be had for a Taurus rising, especially, most often, but sun and moon as well, finding pleasure and satisfaction in things that bring you joy and fun and social energies for sure. Now, if you have children, your children could be fertile, news of pregnancy, especially with the moon rising here. So a lot of you may find out one of your children is pregnant if you have children who can be pregnant. And if you are of an age of pregnancy, whether you're male or female, like you or your partner are planning to make a baby, then guess what? This could be that energy. Mercury is, oh my God, remember that period I missed last week or month or year? Retrograde, Venus fertility, moon motherhood, waxing crescent visible. It can indicate some fertility, maybe surprising, square Uranus. For some of you, you're going, oh my God, trine Uranus, I'm pregnant, but maybe you're happy, or your children are pregnant and maybe you're happy about it, or people are happy about it. Now, also, Jupiter will come into closer to the 8th, but Wednesday through Friday, Jupiter will come into that nice little conversation here, right? With the Jupiter Sun combo. in essence, you're going to feel it pretty clearly on the 7th and the 8th and the 9th. And it's really kind of flooding the week, okay? It's a whole week. So bottom line, what is going on? What do you need? What do you want here that is speaking to something to do with, oh, I just did that. Sorry. Yeah, I just covered that. Sorry, that's what you're doing. Your 4th house, 2nd house. What I mean is what's happening with Mercury and Venus. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. It's been a weird day. What's happening with Mercury and Venus together is sociability. Oh, I covered it all. I'm done with you guys. No wonder I'm looping around in a circle. Don't even ask. Sometimes my brain, which fires on right brain fuel, just goes in complete offline energy. Father figures, by the way, in your 4th house, that's your childhood father figures, play a significant role in this week ahead regarding your prosperity and finances. I will just leave you with that. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now my progressed sun is here. I tell you guys that every time, but I mean, you can look at your progressed sun or your ascendant, but it will always be secondary to your natal positions as extra icing on the cake, not the main cake. So what happens here for you guys? You're going to feel the energy, obviously, of Jupiter and the sun coming into that gorgeous connection to each other. You'll feel that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's go Monday through Thursday. So it's optimism, faith, and hope that you are carrying within your being as a Gemini sun, moon, or rising. And it's flowing to the purposeful, life-affirming activities a Leo sun can accomplish in your 3rd house. Ideal for writing projects, social media projects, things that are relevant to your younger sibling, neighbors, or neighborhood. Also taking a skills-based learning or teaching it, especially for you guys teaching something, because of course Jupiter is the teacher in the house of you. There are trips wherever the 3rd house goes. Short trips happen. Jupiter says fun, hopeful, a buoyant travel, especially Mars opportunities. I wouldn't be shocked to find that a travel opportunity opens up for many Gemini risings, especially, that may be quite lovely and maybe a bit of a surprise, right? And so that opportunity for travel could occur sometime between Monday the 5th and Thursday the 8th. Now, we also have that fun and frivolous and lighthearted play of a Mercury conjunct Venus in your 4th house this week. And the conjunction is pretty exact, or pretty much in play around the 8th of the month. And that energy says to me, oops, sorry. How did I move ahead by a day? That energy says to me that you guys are having a blast in your home life, like close to home or in your home, you're having fun. You're light, you're fun-hearted, you're doing things, you're communicating, your words are eloquent, and you're social. You're just plain social. It's a very social energy. Social in and from your home, maybe entertaining in your home, or having people visit your home, that kind of thing. With this combination of planets here, if you are somebody who works in the writing field, Mercury is in the sign of the writer, it's finishing or creating or doing some writing down home alone in the midnight hour, get off work, go home, do some writing, get up before work, do some writing. You're writing basically, or creating some project of ideas. It's good for selling a property. Now, if you guys want to sell a property or buy a property and you're in the market for it, as a Gemini, this is an ideal week for getting a dream offer or being able to supply a dream offer that gets accepted in a purchase of a property, because you also have support from contractual goddess Juno and a flow from Ceres in your 8th house. So loving that vibe for sure for you, no doubt about it. And I want to be back a day. I'm too far ahead. So just give me a sec. I didn't like where the calendar landed me, Gemini. And because you have a new moon, well, you have a crescent moon rising in your 4th house. Again, new beginnings can be materializing regarding homeland and property matters, and also including matters connected to rental opportunities. Whether you're the landlord or the lessee, either are true. This is Monday through Thursday and Friday, Saturday, even, like you're feeling it all week. I kind of would say to you, with Venus and Mercury in this condition here, pretty exact on Thursday the 8th, it's just a lucky day. Pretty lucky day when it comes to matters to do with things that regarding property. So again, I would list a property under this. I would put it on the MLS under this. I would make those overtures and bake in this energy for this kind of a sky. Okay. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. The story for you is that you're going to experience this Monday through Thursday vibe of the sun flowing in a sextile to Jupiter. This is about your money, where the moon in his his kingdom of Leo is flowing back and looking up at Jupiter. They're easily gazing at each other. You're feeling it pretty intensely again, anyway, Monday through Thursday, even Friday. It's kind of a whole week vibe. Jupiter brings opportunity, and the 12th house is foreign lands, but also money you generate from income from foreign places or people or institutions or businesses. And so there can be this financial opportunity from somebody in a far off foreign shore that suddenly pops into your world, bringing you some little financial boost at this juncture. And it does support you to quit a bad habit, ingesting wise foods and substances that aren't good for you. The Vestal Flame says, let's cook healthy meals around the kitchen table. And Mars says, let's cut out the addictions. And Jupiter says, we got the wisdom and luck to do it. Also, one of those signs that can benefit from a bit of a instant rehab this week ahead. Then I like the energy, of course, of the lighthearted part of life with Mercury conjoined Venus in your third house. Well, it is a sign of communication and writing, Virgo, in a house of writing or communicating. And for those of you who are writers, this is a dream week ahead. Now, I don't think this is just one day, although it's pretty exact on Thursday. You'll probably have a Wednesday through Saturday even, or Wednesday through Friday vibe, where writing projects, communications projects, or social media projects are getting lit up. You may even, with Juno here and a crescent moon, get an offer on a publication, like, an agent or a book publisher suddenly chiming in on, I want this thing. You may have some very good positive outcome and something to spit out into the social media world. You may have an opportunity for Mercury travel, this protected Venus for pleasure, and third house of short distance, pleasurable short distance travel opportunities. Also, good news about a younger sibling or travel opportunities emerging connected to a younger sibling coming up in the week ahead. If you want to take a course that teaches you how to do something, this is the ideal enrollment window or study window for that. A lot of fun, pleasure, and joy in something you may be learning, and for a very few of you, something you may be teaching. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. First of all, in the sky, I would say to you that Monday through Thursday, you are on fire because the fire sun is in the sign of your sun, your moon, or your rising. Now, if is your rising sign, then sometimes it's like you're baking up and under the hot sun. So sometimes it's a little debilitating to your life force energy when the sun goes through our ascendant sign. But you're a Leo and you're used to the fire and you're used to the sun because it's the ruler of your sign. You're kind of the exception. You're the one that goes under the hot baking sun and goes, I feel good. I love this. The sun is bringing me vitality. It's rejuvenating my spirit. That's you every Leo season, right? I have a course on the elementals and understanding the cycles of the elements in the chart. And it's on my teaching site. Go check it out. You can purchase it. This light of the sun in the sign of you is wonderful that way. You're like basking in it, basically, and you're bright in it. And there's a Vestal flame hanging out with the sun, giving you even more brilliance this week, more of a torch of light. What are you doing with it? Well, according to the sky, you're giving it some kind of Jupiter energetic, which has to do with great gains from your career. Ka-ching, ka-ching, financial gains, rewards, promotions, or in your 11th house, favors from your elder sibling, favors from friends and allies and benefactors, or a spurt of excitement regarding new friendships or existing friendships and circles of belonging that are very bounteous, optimistic, and happy. So yes, it's quite lovely. And then as we move forward, we move into the conjunction between Venus and Mercury, most exact on Thursday the 8th, but you'll feel it a couple of days before and after. We feel that you're having some kind of prosperous idea or fortunate communication because Mercury is the news, and this is a money house, and Venus is a money goddess. Some of this fortunate communication and prosperous communication and ideas are connected to financial bounty, but it's also connected to the house of those allies, benefactors, great career gains from your 10th. Ultimately, it looks like you could have a nice little pop of some exciting opportunity to sign a contract with an unexpected job opportunity. So unexpected job opportunities and contracts look like a feature of this week, especially, let's say, Tuesday through Saturday. And you could be very much speaking a lot. I mean, the second house is speech. Mercury is communication. Venus is eloquent. You are the Odysseus line with the honey and nectar flowing from your mouth. Use it or lose it. You've got a huge amount of charm verbally in this week ahead. Well, Virgo, we have a sky this week that opens with that sun sextiling Jupiter, and that solar energy is hidden in the 12th house and is flowing to a 10th house, very visible Jupiter. So right now, until next June, you are lucky, prosperous, growing, and expanding in the career sector and reputation and social standing. And right now you're busy, you're working, you're hard, you're passionate because of Mars. Some of you quit jobs. My daughter is a Virgo rising, just quit her gym job to start her new job. So you may have quit old jobs, starting new jobs. Momentum, passion is all here. But that aside, this is also, what is this light in the 12th house? How are you putting a flashlight into a place that's not easily seen? It could be a flashlight into yourself, undoing habits, bad habits, and addictions, to what you do in the privacy of your boudoir and at home. And you're looking more squarely at where you want to light a double torch, sun and vestal flame, to look more clearly at it so that you can thrive in your career this week. Career thrival may be connected to an international company that you may be working for, or an international player on the world scene, because 12th house can be far off shores. But it can also look like what you're doing behind the scenes in order to succeed in your career this week ahead. And that energy is playing out Monday through Thursday, and you're going to flow with it. It's going to be quite enjoyable. And also, you have the conjunction of Venus in the house of you, Virgo, with Mercury. Beautiful energy, because number one, let me read that charming quote by Renn Butler to you again. Already, from his tongue flowed speech sweeter than honey, Odysseus. That is a Mercury-Venus energy. Wow. Look, you are charming. You are beautiful. You are attractive. You are Venus and Virgo right now. Virgo is precision attractiveness. Your eyeliner is perfect. Your I don't know, your shirt for work and your tie are perfectly pressed and perfectly knotted. So you're looking physically attractive. You feel congenial and friendly to others. You're charming. You get the charm offensive. People will like you and you will present well. Yes, Mercury's retrograde. This means that some of this charm that you're pulling on is from your past experience, your past knowledge, your past way of being, and you're pulling it out of a hat. I remember how I was when I won that pageant, or I remember how I was when I got that job. Let me pull that part of me back to life. So you're pulling your aspects of self from the past into the now, but they're aspects of you that can get what you want because you're likable, you're charming, you're friendly, you're attractive. That's what's going on, Virgos. That said, right, you may have some new ideas. Mercury brings you ideas from the past returning to you, and you want to do something beautiful with them. Beautiful ideas from the past return. That could be a story. The conjunction is going to also sort of, with that beginning of a crescent moon this week on the 6th, 7th in Virgo, you know that you're showing a new light in the house of yourself. Like, what is it like to have a new light in the house of yourself? Have you decided to turn over a new health leaf? Virgo is all about health. It's a new crescent moon in the sign of health. So you may be doing things to improve your health, especially with sun, vestal flame in the house of self-undoing. So you have all the tools to do that in this week ahead. I would also add, just for you, because of Saturn across the way, you're dealing with a difficult relationship story, whether it's a business partnership or a client or your significant other. And this is going to be the week in which in the way you communicate to your significant other, especially with Juno here, the goddess of committed vows and marriage, You're really going to be able to solidify and strengthen an existing long-term relationship through the charm of you being this energy this week. So if you need to do that, you've got what you need this week to really smooth the waters, but not in a fake way, in a way that brings you in touch with an authentic experience of communicating in a friendly way with your significant business lover, clients, whoever needs the nonviolent communication. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. Number one, what the sky is showing us, I'm going to turn off my ring light since I'm not looking at you guys through it anymore. What the sky is showing us is that you are, as a Venus ruled being, you're going to like the week ahead. Let's get to why. First of all, the week starts off Monday through Thursday. You got the flow between the sun and Jupiter. Ultimately, it's opportunity for greater financial gains in your career, friends and benefactors and allies who wish to support you, some kind of light, double torch light, vessel flame sun on some of the wishes, goals, and dreams and bucket lists you have in your life, what you want to accomplish. It's also good in professional settings and friendship groups as well. So that sun is up there, and Jupiter says, yes, let me help from your ninth house. Now, this is book publications and even podcasting and stuff like that. So there's a lot of yay you opportunity, growth, expansion in publishing, podcasting, or the word international or travel and foreign lands coming through the sky, benefiting you this month, this week ahead. You might get invited to a podcast or somebody's YouTube channel, or you might actually get a publisher or have some superior results with agents. Things like that are glowing on you this week, Monday through Thursday. Certainly, Jupiter is very happy up here. He's like a preacher, and your spiritual religious traditions and your wisdom quotient is up, up, up. And you're applying that wisdom to how you receive greater career benefits, basically. All right. And then as we move forward, Mercury and Venus are in a subtle place. Your bed pleasures are here. That means what do you do alone at home when no one's looking? And anything you do in your privacy can be the 12th house. Now, Venus says pleasure and Mercury says fun, and there's pleasurable fun at home. But somehow, some way you may travel because long distance foreign travel is both 9th and 12th house. And there may be an opportunity emerging to take, plan, an invitation or opening for some journey abroad or to another country. It would be for fun or social reasons, not so much a career job or travel, but more of a friendship, social activity opening for you in this chart. Showing up when? Well, take Thursday the 8th and bracket it by 2 or 3 days before and after. You could visit a friend in a foreign land, or they could come visit you. That kind of stuff is piecing together. And if there's something you need to do, like at the soul work level, like, to unburden yourself, to be unburdened by what has been in your karmic story, then this is good for that. This is really good for paying attention to your dreams, journaling, maybe doing a past life regression, especially with mesmerist hypnosis god Jupiter across the way. So it's really good for insight at a deeper level. Some soul work basically could be invited in, and even seeing a therapist because of the activity of Jupiter acting like a mentor up here. So mentor, soul coach, guide, supporting something you're trying to do here, right? Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. The sky opens up this week with this energy of a sextile between the sun and Jupiter, last seen 13 years ago. I keep forgetting to remind people, use it or lose it. Jupiter shines, sun shines in your 10th house of career, and Jupiter is adding support from your chunky money. Well, I mean, sign-on bonuses, severance packages, money generated from your career, from commissions, passive income, royalty income. This stuff is going upward this week ahead, Monday through Thursday. You feel some career and financial gain, or some unexpected financial gain connected to your spouse. And it also allows you to shine brighter and lighter at the top of the sky. You got a double torch up here. Sun and vessel flame, you're really killing it in the reputation, career, and social standing part of the chart. But there's a lot of support from Jupiter in a very karmic house. Now, a lot of you Scorpios are going to, at that 8th house Jupiter, end up inheriting some money from somebody in your life over the course of the next year, by next June. And solar figures at the top of the sky indicate maybe if you're going to get money in this week ahead, it would be from a father or father figure. Maybe not dying, by the way, could just give you money or support you that way. Right. Also, we do see the Mercury Venus conjunction happening this week around Thursday the 8th is pretty exact. A couple days before and after, the narrative tells you that you are being very social. Suddenly, your social friends, your groups of friends, your activities in groups of people are on the rise. You are up there having a blast, but also Mercury retrograde. These are people from your past, people who are friends or an elder sibling from the past, like you haven't been in touch, making contact this week, and you are rolling along with more fun with people from your past. Also, there may be some revision and renegotiation around your financial matters connected to your career, and you're so bright in the sky, you might be asking for more money. I would use this energy this week, Thursday at the epicenter, 2 days before and after, to ask for a raise. I would ask for a raise if you have an employer. Ultimately, though, your fairy godmother and father live in the 11th house, and Venus is a money goddess, and this is a windfalls and pennies from heaven karmic rewards energy. So you may get an unexpected amount of money coming through your sky. If that does happen, and it could, it's got some support from Uranus in the 7th house, indicating some of this financial gain can also come through legal contracts or your significant other. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, what happens here? You end up seeing the beginning of this week, Monday through Thursday, governed by that sextile not seen in 13 years between Jupiter and the sun. Jupiter in the house of your significant partners, the sun in your 9th house. This energy tells me that you are focused very strongly on alliances with significant Jupiterian folk, prosperous, wealthy, helpful, kind, good people. They could be friends. They could be romantic partners. They could be clients. They could be business partners. Those people are highlighted in a solar way in the 9th house, connected to book publishing, foreign lands, podcasting, and more. If this is about you getting a book publishing deal, it looks lovely. If this is about you leaning in towards some kind of opportunity for foreign travel with a significant person in your life, this opening looks good in the week ahead. You may also use this for successful negotiations and mediation in legal matters as well. Because you have the energy of the sun in the house of academic environments and learning environments like that are higher education, and Jupiter is the god of education, this can look like an acceptance, for example, at your dream school, right, to teach or to learn. Mercury and Venus come together in this conjunction in Virgo in your 10th house. This is your reputation, social standing, career, your place of achievements that people see you achieving. And we have a contractual goddess up here and flowing to Uranus in a work house. This could be an opportunity out of the blue that surprises you for some career opportunity, a new job, an opportunity to do something within your career and job that you didn't expect, that kind of thing. That will feel very exact on Thursday the 8th, but it'll trickle 2 days before and after. If you have been not having fun at work or social engagements in work or not enjoying your work lately, this is your yearly, I'm going to enjoy my work transit, my reputation. But if you want to be well received by the public, Venus up here says, yes, people like you. This is a good little breakout moment for public success, career success. Mercury says, are you going to speak in front of people? Are you going to go on a web show podcast? Or are you going to speak for real in front of people? That can happen. And that's something that may occur this week. Ultimately, with Venus up here, she's bringing some luck and beneficence to career matters. And Mercury is saying, from the past. So old career stories, bosses, colleagues, coworkers, opportunities from the past, reemerging in the top of your sky and maybe leading to some opportunity to sign legal contracts and deals and vows regarding work and career matters this week ahead. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. So first of all, let's talk about this story of the week opening with the sun sextiling Jupiter. Sun sextiling Jupiter is feel-good energy. It really is like where prosperity and bounty meet vitality and life force. But it's all about your health or work, where Jupiter's sitting, that you're going to go Monday through Thursday with some feeling of something good trying to happen. And if you've been dealing with work opportunity, pets, rentals, or health matters, Mars is helping you make changes of direction there. Jupiter's giving you golden luck and opportunities in those areas. and flowing to the North Node in your fourth house. Good for rental agreements or all of that. But also this week, the sun in the eighth house of mortgages and banks and finance and investments. Something good is prospering here. It can be work opportunities. It can be investment opportunities. It can be the ability to have a debt repaid that's owed you or to pay off an existing debt Monday through Thursday with keyword lucky breaks. Money from a solar figure, a male figure, can come your way in a chunk this week ahead. This is Sun in the 8th, North Node, Chiron in the 4th, opportunity to buy or sell real estate, or with Jupiter, Mars in the 6th, rent real estate is in the mix for you. Exact on Thursday, Friday, you're feeling this energy. No, sorry, Tuesday through Thursday. The conjunction of Venus and Mercury in your 9th house. It's good social fun and activities and spiritual settings. It's positive developments around visas, passports, foreign land travel, academic settings, and legal matters, especially involving courts. With Venus up here, you may have a trip opportunity emerging to foreign places or foreign shores. It will surprise you, and it may also involve romantic partners, your children, or things to do with entrepreneurial businesses. And that is a little spark of light for you Thursday. Give it, a couple of days before and after. Because Venus and Mercury are flowing to you, but Mercury's retrograde, some of these travel, educational, foreign land, visas, opportunities may be connected to work or children are connected to your past. It's nothing fresh in you. You knew somebody or someone that connects you to these themes. Phone calls, emails, and text messages, therefore, coming to you from 9th house, foreign places and people will show up for sure with lucky opportunity in tow sometime later this week. Oh, I don't know anybody from a foreign place or foreign shore. Then an academic setting or a spiritual setting, 9th house matters. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. I am one of you. I'm a rising. So we start off with the sun and Venus and Jupiter in a flowing sextile. We'll feel that Monday, as you know, through Thursday in a way we haven't seen in 13 years. And in essence, this flow between Jupiter here in the 5th house and the sun here in the 7th house brings the following themes up this week ahead, Monday through Thursday. You may find you have a legal contract that's quite beautiful to connect to a creative project. You might find yourself having a leisure travel opportunity emerge with a long-term significant love partner. You may find a client story coming up really in a bright way that inspires greater motivation, fun, play, and pleasure in your life. It's Jupiter in the house of fun, play, pleasure, inspiration, and the muse. And you're getting a lot of that, including maybe fertility transits for some of you who are fertile with Jupiter here until next June. But when Jupiter's in the 5th house, your bounty is increasing when it comes to entrepreneurial and creative matters. And your children are collaterally benefiting from protection from Lord Jupiter. If you worry about your kids, you probably don't need to when Jupiter's here through till next June. Okay? But this energy this week is like, wow, what's this? Did I win a lottery? And that is because of Venus and Mercury in the house of chunky money. Retrograde Mercury, that lottery ticket stuck under your sofa. You bought it a few weeks ago. And Jupiter in the house of games of chance, gambling, winning money, and speculative gains. So those areas are looking pretty spicy and hot this week, Monday through Thursday. You might know your limit play within it. Don't gamble what you don't have. I said to my partner, James, let's go to the casino sometime soon. We've never done that. There's a casino not far from where I live, and I don't even gamble, but I might just for fun grab this guy by the balls and do this Monday through Thursday. So lightly choose to gamble if you know your limit and can play within it. I'm not advising gambling. I'm sure I demonetized for that. Energetically, this conjunction between Mars and Jupiter coming up mid-August is a big deal. We're going to do a whole video on that, but you're feeling some of the essence of it this week as that Mars and Jupiter are engaged, right? And flowing to the sun in your 7th. Legal contracts that benefit you can come through this week from creative projects and entrepreneurial businesses, as well as leisure travel getaways with a significant other. As we approach the conjunction of Mercury and Venus in precision on Thursday the 8th, now a day or two before and after Thursday the 8th, things are happening to do with your chunky money. That will be also connected to themes from your past. What kind of monies? Well, royalty income, debt from the past that someone owes you, money to do with your banks, inheritance monies resurfacing from the past, connection to money that's from taxes and tax rebates, and situations to do with investments in the markets. So if there's anything from your past that could benefit you financially in any of those areas, you're likely to see evidence of that this Thursday, maybe a couple of days before and a couple of days after. And that's about it. I mean, I will mention that Venus and Mercury are in a whole sign flow to Uranus in the fourth house, can indicate some unexpected prosperity coming from family of origin or legacy wealth, or through the lens of your significant other in a marriage type relationship. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Well, Pisces, we start off with Jupiter, the Lord of your sign, flowing to the sun in the sixth house in a way we haven't seen in 13 years, 12 years, 13 years, whatever. And this energy opens up a gateway or doorway that's not the lion's gate to positive things developing from your home or about your home or in your home, fourth house, connected to sixth house matters, debts, an ability to pay off a debt, a credit card, some kind of debt repayment plan. Someone owes you a debt and they pay you money. This is all possible. Money coming from mom, dad, or the family of origin that allows you to be debt free. Some situation, Pisces, it could also open a rental opportunity for you, some kind of agreements regarding rental contracts that are prosperous and lucky, showing up for those Pisces looking to rent a property out or to become a leaseholder or a lease or a tenant or landlord. All things are possible. Also, pets. I mean, Jupiter, bounty, expansion, and growth, and family, more kids in the home, and the house of pets. Some of you become a pet owner or expand your pets because maybe one of your pets is pregnant or something, or you're taking in some rescue animals. And you'll find that as a possibility Thursday, right? All the way through Monday through Thursday, really. This conjunction, though, of Venus and Mercury in your seventh house really looks very much to do with opportunities legally and contractually from your past that are positive showing up, may engage the themes of real estate, may engage the themes of inheritances. I mean, just because the legacy wealth Jupiter transits there. But on a more simple note, your partner may be having some positive energies coming to them that are about Venus, luck or prosperity, connected to their past through phone calls and emails and texts coming to them, showing up as greater lucky prosperity in the life of a significant other. Also, your partner may be more inclined to want to be engaging in your relationship of love through the lens of sociability and fun. And if you want to jump aboard that as Sirius Saturn transits through your first house, good luck, go for it. You may get off your serious horse and into a little playful fun with the one you're with, especially in a long-term committed love relationship. And if you do things on social media, Uranus in the third house, Venus, Mercury in the seventh, you're going to have a bit of a bump in your viral ability and something you're sharing online. And a sudden opportunity for a travel or a trip with the one you're with can show up this week ahead, especially Thursday, but give or take a day or two before and after. If you do travel with that person, it's not a far off foreign place. More likely it's closer to home, but it could be a fun getaway with the one you're with being available for you. And if you have no partner, then again, the Mercury Venus can be something to do with negotiations and legal contracts from your past, looking lucky and prosperous in this week ahead, especially because you've got Athena, the lawyerly mind, in the ninth house of legal courts and judges. Legally, you can negotiate the perfect mediation, solution, contract, or agreement, especially if it involves property or land or travel or local neighborhood matters. That's all I've got for everybody. I had somebody complain the other day that they're unsubbing because for Taurus, they only got 2 minutes. Almost every sign on that video got anywhere between 2.5 minutes to maximum 3.5 minutes. It was a quickie. And I always laugh. And people are so weird on YouTube comments. They're so weird. They're so weird. Of the hundreds and hundreds of videos I put out, they were gypped of 30 seconds of content. I just have to vent. I mean, I still read my comments. I know most astrologers don't. They don't because they get burned out. And if they do it, you do get a heart or a like. It's their assistant doing it because we get power from the YouTube algorithm when we engage in the comments in any way. But guys, I said it before, civil discourse, please. When I talk politics, especially, I get so many weird trolls, and I'm telling you, I ain't political. Get with the program. I'm astrologically defining the sky through the lens of politics. It is August the 3rd. It is almost 4 o'clock. In half an hour, I'm joining my girlfriend on her balcony to share a really lovely rosé on my wine lover's middle way. And I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget, I said my sky reader starts sometime in September. I'm leaning towards the 3rd week of September to avoid that Mercury retrograde shadow period. Just doesn't feel like it's a good time to start the class, and the shadow ends on the 11th of September, I think. So, but that course is going to go for 6 weeks this fall. I love teaching it. My 5th time, live classes, coaching calls, lots of content. I update it every time. There's new content every time. There's also bonus content every time. The official shopping cart will open / enrollment cart on the end of the month of August after Mercury gets out of retrograde. So get ready for that. So yeah, if you want to get the early bird discount, you definitely want to get on the early bird notice wait list, which is in the description box. So you click the more button, and then you can scroll down past the video description to everything I have to offer. Because I see people are always confused about where they find out everything about my channel. It's in the title has a more ... button. Click it. Then you're going to see more, but you can scroll down for more and more and more and more and more. Thanks. Thanks to my regulars. See you guys in the next video. This is Monday's video. I'll probably have a Wednesday video or a Thursday video. And I've got all this election content I'm going to be putting out. And I think I might leave it. I was going to do Fridays, but I don't know. There's going to be one day a week that I do the Trump video, the RFK video, etc. It might be Mercury Day, Wednesdays. I'll let you know. But get ready for a series of election videos that sync in the algorithm until after I put it out. It's 6. It's like blah. And then it comes back to life like a beach balloon after something I've said and it turns out to be true. It doesn't reward me to put out these election videos on my back end metrics. I'll have you know that. People ask me to do it, but they are really, really bad performers in terms of the numbers of views, the numbers of subscribers. The metrics suck. So I'm disincentivized to put them out that way. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I continue to do that. But if you haven't watched any of my election videos in the series, especially the one predicting Biden steps down, as well as the video I'm just going to put out on RFK, and also the one that's coming out in Trump, and also the one about the Veep stakes, and you're one of my regulars, can you just go hit the like button and put a comment in there and see if I can't get traction on that kind of content? Because if I don't, I won't do that kind of content, right? I put all the effort into it, but it doesn't work on my algorithm. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a wonderful day, weekend, whenever you see this. It's Monday. Have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you. I hope you enjoy Jupiter, Sun, Venus, Mercury.